There is an opportunity for the SMA mission in Niger. First, it is well known Niger is one of the poorest countries. According to the UN, Niger is the last and the most poorest. I think that if today the Catholic Church, and particularly the SMA, wants to work with the poor, it is to be in Niger. We must not explain too much. We know all the indicators of education and health. Even today, things are not going well in Niger. For example, at the school level, as well as at the health level, there is nothing. As you know, according to the official statistics, Niger is one of the poorest countries among the least developed countries in the world. Niger is a country where indeed the population, especially the young population, does not have the opportunities to flourish as it wants, as it would like. In a country where the average daily income is around 1.3 euro, you can't afford big things, including child education, health care. You can't afford it. It's a very poor country, but at the same time, a very courageous country. A country that rises with determination to get out of its predicament with the support of friends and partners.
The fight against poverty is an integral part of the charism of the Society of African Missions. In their missions of evangelization, the SMA fathers synthesize the population to take care of themselves with the limited means at their disposal. They also organize youth education through schools.
We seek together to proclaim good news, which is also made concrete through works of charity, which do not mean that we must only respond to emergencies. Of course, we have the great everyday emergency, which is poverty. Poverty when we see people having always the same food, that is millet. Meat is seen only once in a while, maybe once a month. In some villages where there are hundreds of children, there is no school. Niger is the country with the most births in the world, 7.2 children per woman. The government cannot even follow this demographic movement. We as missionaries cannot solve all of these problems, but we are trying to help this population.
In Bomoanga, several pastoral and humanitarian activities are undertaken.
This is the first evangelization area. You cannot go and preach the gospel directly, but we do something so that people understand who Jesus is, what he did for us. That is why we choose feeding the malnourished. This is why we help people to drill wells so that they can cultivate all year round. Finally, the people are free to choose to become a Christian or to stay a Muslim or whatever. For us, it's not a trade or a bait, it's just for the betterment of life.
In Dogondoutchi, a parish located about 300 kilometers from Niamey, and which has 60,000 inhabitants, the fathers have started some agricultural projects.
It is more than 30 years since the first missionaries established this land so that the population in this area can benefit from it. Here there are at least 150 people. Our mission is to support them, to help themselves to benefit from what they do here. We are there with them to help them to drill new wells, to rehabilitate the old wells, to help them by supplying them with watering cans and also supplying them with nurseries in which they can grow vegetables. All this is done through the aid of CADEV, which means Caritas Development Niger.
Caritas Développement Niger.
An organization in which Muslims and Christians work together. Some are volunteers, some others have salaries. And CADEV has thus participated in many projects, in the agricultural field, for instance, and also in the field of reforestation, because Niger is a desert country. Also they help in the field of irrigation, the establishment of cooperatives, and welcoming immigrants, in the support of AIDS patients. Wherever the need arises, CADEV tries to help with the support of external partners. But we say to the partners, please don't be asking us how we should spend your money, because we leave that up to the local people to decide how to use the money in the best way possible. But if you come here with giving us instructions how we are to use the money, then please keep your money. Our presence here is a presence of doing social works among the most abandoned. And everyone you see here who works in this garden, they are Muslims. There are no baptized Christians here, although they are welcome. But they are all in our Christian charity, Muslim and Christian alike. Our mission is not simply the mission of proclaiming the gospel, but also the mission of witnessing this Christian charity among the Nigerian most abandoned.
In Kankani, Father Carlos Badzara initiates young people to small business ideas or small trades investment.
Poverty here is in huge proportions, meaning it is a difficult fight. We periodically and systematically train young boys and girls in small trades. This is why my job is to study cultures, language, peoples, so that I can live with them. This is the first job, to live with them, a poor people, the poorest. And it is from there that we can fight poverty with them. It is from there that we can help with development for them. It is from there, by living with them, that we can fight against famine and against the problems of deforestation in this country which is already almost all desert.
The process of helping people to become self-sufficient and actors of their development requires a lot of patience.
On voudrait que les gens s'engagent et participent de leur mieux.
We would like people to get involved in all of this, whether it is to establish millet mills in villages, to allow women that they no longer pound by hand. It is the same at the school level. I have found in some schools that a lot of school materials are abandoned, destroyed. I have sometimes asked parents to repair benches. They totally agree, as long as you bring the materials. However, there are good things that happened. Many seriously committed people are there. But not all are committed as such.
Despite the effort and determination of the missionaries, the results are not seen. Some observers who strongly believe that poverty in the Niger is an endemic phenomenon.
Cette pauvreté est un phénomène qui
This poverty is a phenomenon that will continue. There is no sign of hope that something will change. What is striking is this. For someone who experienced this 30 years ago and who is seeing it now after being away for 27 years, we see that the current generation has the same way of life as that of their parents. They wear the same clothes, they wear the same rubber sandals, they carry fruit and vegetables in the wheelbarrow, sell them through the streets. There is no progress. One has the impression that it is an entirely lost generation during these last 30 years.
Durant cette période de 30 ans.